Hello everybody, today I'm making a video on a Colossus guide. Basically, I'm just gonna give tips how to use his abilities well and tier list on what survivors are good against him and what LMSs you should be aiming for with him. So, Colossus is a big brute character. I'm trying to dedicate maining him, so I am pretty good with him, I would say. But this video is mostly just to help people play him better, because I've been like the only Colossus who's won pub rounds, except for like once in a million light years I've seen a Colossus actually win. But yeah, starting with the video, I think we are gonna discuss abilities. First up is Charge. Charge is a very basic ability. All it does is make you charge. Now, what does it do when you run into a survivor? Well, you basically impale them, and now you're dragging them with you. So what you can do with Charge is impale a survivor, charge into a random spot like a dead zone or something far away from others, so you can crash into a wall, deal 40 damage, and now you have them all alone. So you can grab them, deal damage, and then down. This is a very good way to play Colossus, and it is the best way to use Charge in my opinion. You can also use Charge to deal group damage if there's a group, though you have to be careful of Knuckles and Eggman, because if they use their counters, then your charge will get shut off if you run into them. You also have to be careful of Silver's projectiles, because both of them can hit you, which means charge will rock will make it slower, and if he uses suspension, then you're stalled for a bit. Overall, Charge is actually a very good ability because it displaces survivors, deals good damage to them. Well, not the best damage, but still good damage. And overall, Charge is going to be your main mobility option, your main group damage, your main... This is your most used ability, basically, besides Indicator, but that's obvious. Next is Grab. Grab is very basic. You just lunge forward quickly, and if you hit a survivor, you grab them, and then you can click M1 to deal damage. It deals, I believe, 12 damage per punch. I just don't remember exactly. But Colossus does damage. You grab him, he punch, he deal damage. There's not much to say about Grab, other than there's some weird quirks to it. Like, if you go off a ledge, then the speed boost will launch you pretty far. If you grab Knuckles or Eggman who use their counter, then you cannot attack them immediately, unlike in launch. If you do, then you get stunned. So if you grab an Eggman or Knuckles, you have to wait a bit. If you're in a team situation, group situation, so like you grab someone and there's a stunner nearby, you should be jumping to try to avoid the stun, and then quickly punching the person to get them off of you before you get stunned. Overall, Grab is a good move, but it is very easy for survivors to counter it. Yeah, that's it. Just Grab is a good move. Just be careful of groups. That is very simple to understand, I think. Next is Block. Block doesn't really have much to say, since all you really do is just press the block ability and, well, you either stun yourself for 4 seconds or you get value and actually do something. Block isn't that great. You have to use it in tight corridors against Sonic and Metal. Against any other stunner, if they just pay attention to you, then you ain't ever hitting the block against them. I'm sorry, but there's not much you can say about Block in its current state. Block is such a horrible ability. I would genuinely hope it gets reworked or something, because it is awful in its current state and does nothing but punish bad players. Next, we're going to do the tier list. First tier list, we're going to do what survivors are good against Colossus and what survivors are bad against Colossus, starting from the bottom to the top. Tails isn't very good against Colossus, mostly because Tails' only mobility option is locked behind a 30-second cooldown, and sometimes Colossus is able to hit Tails on time by the time he starts flying with charge or grab. His Tails stun is good against Colossus, but when the second Colossus gets close to Tails, sorry, Tails ain't living for shit. Next is Cream. Cream is needed against Colossus, and that's mostly because that's just Cream. Cream is pretty much just a free target for Colossus, though. That's all she is, really. Whole team has to protect her if they want to not get too tapped off in. Amy is down here mostly because she surprisingly gets countered by Colossus. Mostly because none of her stuns can do anything against charge or grab. So, yeah, she's pretty much just fucked against them. Next is Blaze. Blaze is still good against Colossus. I would just say the second Colossus gets near her, she can't really do much unless she has Soul Flame. Next is Eggman. Eggman can just pre-run distance, so he's pretty much not doing much for the team other than stopping occasional charges. That's pretty much what Eggman's job is against Colossus, is pre-running the hell out of him with jetpack boost and stopping his charge with shield. Knuckles pretty much does the same thing, except he has punch, which can be used for both damage resistance and stunning him, which is great for stun stacking. Metal Sonic is great against Colossus because if Metal gets in chase, he can soak up a lot of damage and then charge away once he drops off a hill and charges off, because Colossus is not able to get up to him. And Colossus charge will not allow you to catch up to Metal. And if your team is actually good, then you're pretty much living forever as Metal, especially if the Eggman actually stays near your Metal. Silver, simply because how much of a verticality challenge he is. And also, uh, suspension is really good against charge and grab. And if Colossus blocks, you can just throw a rock at him, and now he's slowed. Actually, you can probably throw two. Yeah, you can throw two rocks at Colossus when he blocks, and then blue blur himself. You can't do anything as against Colossus. You genuinely will lose most of your rounds because Sonic just ended up living forever. Next is the LMS tier list. I'm just gonna talk about the top tier ones mostly. Tails and Blaze are very easy to kill in LMS. They're not great in LMS, except Blaze can be a bit annoying if you're not good at dodging her stun. Other than that, these two are not that bad in LMS for Colossus. Cream, it depends on her amount of starting health and how long she can. It depends on the map too, because she might just live and take enough damage to be able to get out of the ring on time. And then for the rest, you're not winning against Knuckles because his damage resistance is really high, and Colossus already gets hard countered by Knuckles. You're not winning against Amy Solo due to how short it is. Metal, too much damage resistance. Also, one thing I forgot to say about Knuckles, uh, if you block near Knuckles, he can just jump up and do a ground slam and it stuns you. Silver is way too hard due to how good he is verticality wise. Eggman, he's just pre running you. And Sonic, you just cannot catch up to him at all. This is only short because there's not much to say. And finally, we have the map tier list. Starting with the top one, X's Castle. X's Castle already was the best map in the game in 0.1. X just got a better map due to Angel Island being super horizontal focused, and he's the best horizontal killer. But anyways, Colossus is just very good on this map, mainly because there's not as many good silver spots, not as many Eggman double jump spots or much. You can also be sneaky on this map because the map is pretty enclosed. Other than that, you're still most likely gonna have a hard ass time because of Sonic. Next is You Can't Run. This map is only second because the other maps either have too much clunk or there's not much you can do because climb is shit and the verticality survivors are too much, or the horizontal have heavy survivors you can't catch up due to the map being too big. Angel Island has too much clunk that your charge does nothing most of the time. Mystic Cave is really hard verticality wise, and Green Hill is way too big. That's pretty much it for the maps. Overall, I hope some of these help you understand how to play Colossus a bit better and know what to do in your rounds. Colossus can be very fun. I do love him a lot, but man, playing the worst killer in an already survivor-sided game feels tough. There's not much you can really do with him skillfully wise. Like charge maybe, but yeah, Colossus is very simple. He's a very caveman like killer. You can just pick him and play him pretty brain deadly because there's just not much you can do with him. Though I can mention the charge climb tech, which if you're charging, sometimes if you are lucky enough, you'll climb while charging. This can be a pretty useful tech, though there's not a lot of spots that it can be used on, cause especially on the newer maps. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Next video, I don't know. Goodbye.